The experienced old pro Eddie Neilson from Swindon. Pro boxer for 11 years. Oh, and he's over in the first 10 seconds. Well, he was always a bit vulnerable, but not usually that early in a fight. And Bruno's going for a very quick win indeed here. Now, can Neilson weather this? He said he could take anything that Bruno threw, but he can't. 30 seconds on the clock. Sid Nathan counting into his ear. Up at 8. And it's going to be all over in the first. Joe Bugner took 5 rounds to beat Neilson. Never had him down like this. Neilson's up quickly. Sid Nathan looks at him. On you go. Still not a minute on the clock. Well, this is altogether an amazing performance by Bruno. Completely overwhelmed his man, smothered him with punches, never given him a chance. And the big southpaw from Swindon, with 35 fights behind him, doesn't know where he is or what's hitting him. Now, can he survive? Still not halfway through the first. Jerry Lawless said he didn't feel too sure about letting Frank Bruno go against his first pro southpaw opponent, but hasn't done too badly so far. Some blood coming from somewhere. Must be Neilson, surely. May well be his right eye, and that's the one that Bugner stopped him with. 2 minutes gone. And Neilson has been allowed back in. And Neilson's right eye is certainly damaged. Bruno trying to take his time now. The early storm has blown itself out. And Neilson's right eye is going to give him real trouble. This is the one that Bugner opened up and that stopped Neilson in the 5th round. And now we're coming to the end of the first against Bruno, and it's done again. Well, Neilson survived it, and he didn't look as though he was going to go a minute, let alone 3. And back he goes for repairs to the right eye, the one that was so vulnerable in the fight against Bugner. Well, this was the early whirlwind, and Neilson didn't know where he was or what was hitting him. Everything was coming in. And in the first 10 seconds, he was on the seat of his pants. Round 2. 21-year-old Bruno, 32-year-old Neilson, and Neilson with that vulnerable right eye, damaged, cut. Neilson 15 stone 9, a pound and a half heavier than Bruno. Well, Neilson in his heyday put a few people away, but he was always a bit vulnerable himself to the big punch. Never fought for the British title. Retired from the ring, made a comeback last year after 3 years out. And Bugner's the only man who's beaten him so far in the comeback. Done a good job on the eye, it's not bleeding. Bruno moving well and mixing his punches well. And Neilson's bobbing head, a constant target for those Bruno bombs. 2 rounds he's got through. You wouldn't have bet on him getting through 1. Bruno looking for his 14th successive professional win. His first year as a professional now behind him. And nobody has yet taken him as far as 5 rounds. Sid Nathan having a close look at the repair work being done to Neilson's right eye. And you can't help feeling that that might be the thing that beats Neilson in the end.
Seconds out, round 3.
Bruno upright, a giant. Neilson a big man, but crouching over and taken with the right hand early in the 3rd. And he looks to his corner, his eye's gone, and Sid Nathan says that'll be enough. And there's a tremendous cut appeared above Neilson's right eye. All over. 3rd round, 2 rounds faster than Joe Bugner managed it. Bugner was here to see it. Bruno does it again, 14 in a row. Well, that was a bombing right hand early in the 3rd that brought that about in the first 20 seconds or so. And that not only put him down, but that created a terrible split above Neilson's right eye. Frank, well done. Number 14.
Yeah.
Eh? Don't last too long, do they?
No, he was a hard customer, Eddie Neilson. You know, he could bang, and he's pretty experienced, and you know, he's a good opponent for me.
You looked as though you might have him over in the first minute.
Yeah, I thought I might have, but you know, the fight game's a very strange game. You know, anything could happen.
You don't have to tell me that. I've been watching it a long time. No, it was a good win in the end, wasn't it? You slowed down a bit and took your time.
Well, I slowed down because I went like a flyweight at the first round. I had to pace myself and try to rock a little bit of rhythm and everything, but I thank God I won, Harry.
Would you like to see what you did in the final round there?
Yeah.
Just have a look at our monitor and we'll show it to you again. This is that tremendous right hand.
Yeah, he split his eye open.
It did, yes.
Yeah.
Not only put him down, but it did the eye.
Right.
You must have been, you knew all about that eye in the first place. I mean,
well, I knew about the eye, and I knew, you know, he was a tough opponent, so I wanted to destroy him, but I went a bit too hasty at first, but I thank God I destroyed him.
Joe Bugner was here tonight.
Yeah.
What do you think he thought of it?
He's saying 2 rounds, and I'm saying 5 rounds.
Let's bring Terry in, Terry Lawless. What did you think of the performance tonight? All right?
Well, you know, the punching is like always is awesome. It was a big occasion for him tonight. You know, people keep putting the pressure on with this Bugner business. It's 5 rounds, it's 2 rounds, which tries to make him start a little bit too quick. But after the first round, we slowed him down a little bit, and then it was just a question of time.
And still no signs of a fight with Bugner?
No. Joe Bugner needs Frank Bruno. Frank Bruno doesn't need Joe Bugner.
Well, back here at Walthamstow, Joe Bugner's with me, and you heard that. Terry Lawless says Joe Bugner needs Frank Bruno. Bruno doesn't need Bugner. What do you got to say about that?
I think it's a very stupid statement, because if a young fellow is trying to make some kind of, let's put it this way, gain some kind of experience, what better person he could fight other than Joe Bugner? I mean, I can give him all the experience he needs. And let's face it, Harry, after watching this fight, the kind of punch that Bruno put Neilson down with, which was virtually a right slap in the face. I mean, let's face it, I softened Neilson up. I mean, he took such a thrashing for 5 rounds in December. He never recovered from it. So, okay, Bruno put him down 3 or 4 times or whatever it was. The guy was gone before he went in the ring.
You softened Winston Allen up for him as well?
That's right.
Quicker than you did, too.
No, well, the fact is, Harry, you know, when the pressures are on, and when Joe Bugner hits them, they never recover. So when Bruno came along and finished off the jobs, which everybody's screaming about, it's a lot of nonsense. The guys were gone anyway.
How much bad feeling is there between you and Frank Bruno? Because one gets the impression from the way both of you talk that there is a bit of bad feeling. Or are you just building it all up for the big fight?
Harry, of course we're building it up. There is no bad feelings between Frank and I. We are both professional fighters. The fact is, it's about time that Frank realized that he cannot call his trainer-manager Buona. He has to... Terry, listen. No, wait a minute. No, the fact is, Frank Bruno is the boss. He has to go out there and tell these people he wants Joe Bugner for 200 grand. And 200,000 pounds is a lot of money for this young man, and he should have it.
Right.
Now, Terry Lawless should be listening to Bruno.
You very charmingly brought your wife, Marlene. Good evening, Marlene.
Good evening.
Now, you're the lady, I believe, who manages Joe's business for him.
Yes, I do.
When he starts talking about 200,000 pounds, do you think that's the sort of money that will come about between a Bruno-Bugner confrontation?
Well, from my opinion, Joe doesn't need Bruno.
Oh, that's the other way around.
Yes,
There's
I
no
don't...
bad feelings, Harry, between Bruno and I, believe me. It's just that I want Frank to realise that he has a lot of money to earn in this game.
Marlene, do you want to see them fight? Do you want to see the two of them fight?
I don't really mind one way or another, because Frank Warren has got very good fights lined up for Joe. And in the long run, Joe's going to make more money anyhow. Okay. So Joe beating Frank Bruno is not going to mean too much, is it?
Thank you both very much for joining us here at Walthamstow.